You should not criticize your government. You do not appreciate your country. If there is an inherent problem about the government, and instead of bringing it up and discussing about it so we can work our way to form a solution, you instead try to publicly humiliate the person who even dares speak ill of the government. Thus, the inherent problems of our country are left unresolved and undiscussed. They worsen by the year, and you think that you are doing a service to your country. I think that you are the unpatriotic one.
Stop being so vulgar.
People are absolutely appalled that I, in the internet of all places, would dare to use the word fuck. Oh, I actually heard some people were so hardcore they took down every line from my video, then removed all the words that were considered vulgar so that my arguments would be more digestible to older readers. What year are you living in? 2006? In this age, if you are in any form of social gathering and somebody says the word fuck, and then you say, hey, can you stop being so vulgar? People are going to laugh at you. People are going to mock you. You are going to be the absolute loser of the clique. If you are going to completely dismiss something because it is considered vulgar, you are going to miss out on a lot of great stuff. So yes, the vulgar language stays, you judgmental cunts. Fuck. 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 Oh. Lee Kuan Yew has such a high reputation. What are you, Amos? Never be afraid to criticize somebody who has more money or has a higher reputation than you. Otherwise, the only time that the government will feel vulnerable is during elections. We put way too much pressure on ourselves to have the confidence to form opinions, especially when it concerns politics. You don't need that. You don't need to read an extensive analysis of the socio-economic implications of the Nazi regime or a detailed psychological analysis of Hitler's failure as a childhood artist. You just need to know, guy killed 6 million Jews, the motherfucker's an asshole. You are exploiting your freedom of speech. How do you exploit freedom of speech? You either have it or you don't. There is no relative freedom of speech meter that is contingent on the amount of controversy that you create. Now, people like to consider me as a freedom of speech advocate, but if you realize initially, I didn't even fight for freedom of speech. I just thought it was there. And if we were to follow the Constitution, I would have the right to say things that piss people off and be immune to any legal action. What you instead chose to do was to send me to jail. And you know what sucks? The main thing people were pissed off about was that I insulted Lee Kuan Yew. But I wasn't punished for that. Instead, I got the heaviest punishment for the few seconds I insulted Jesus. We're mainly pissed off that he insulted Lee Kuan Yew, but we do not have enough legal grounds to punish him for that, so let's instead punish him for some other factors so we can portray to the public that you will be severely punished if you dare to criticize the government. Striking fear. It's what we communists do. Really, their choice to imprison someone is not based on harassment or sedition or whether or not it offends religious groups or whether or not the image is obscene. They do so because they feel like it. It's not based on a law, it's based on what they think. There really isn't any freedom of speech. You thought that I would just plead guilty and go on probation, and that would teach fellow citizens of Singapore a lesson about criticizing your own government. You didn't know that I would break the terms of the bail, have thoughts of suicide, and that Hong Kong would burn Lee Hsien Loong's face. But you couldn't back away in the middle of it, because then you would have to admit that you were wrong. And that's just something you can't do. So following in the footsteps of Lee Kuan Yew, let's not do things based on the consistency of the law, but whenever it seems beneficial to do so. At least now though, I know what I still can do, and that is criticize the government. That's technically still legal. So stay tuned. Unless of course they try to send me back to jail again, in which case I wish you very good luck for the elections.